Afishiapa, as it is said in Ghana, Christmas celebrations in Europe and Africa are becoming the two sides of the coin syndrome, either through brainwashing or inferiority complexes. Hello and welcome to the Global Cultural Drift Podcast. Geopolitical Queen here with today's episode on Christmas in Europe and Africa and how some Africans are broken from their cultures and values. As a foreigner in Europe, Christmas days are the days when you feel like you have no friends at all. The answer is very simple. Christmas in Europe are the days when everyone goes back to their family annual gatherings, to their parents, or even their grandparents, siblings, and in some cases, extended family members gather with their children, their husbands, their wives, and reunite with parents and grandparents to celebrate, exchange gifts, but most importantly, to get to know each other, the new cousins, relatives, all in a festive mood. Brothers and sisters, come to know the new family members, as in the husbands and wives and children of their siblings. Children also come to know their uncles, their aunts, their cousins, their grandparents, etc. Those annual family gatherings are almost mandatory and are used like annual evaluation of the family unity and its members' evolution. Unresolved issues in the family are revisited and new conflicts are started to keep the indispensable family drama alive. In the east and north of Europe, where pagan traditions are still alive, young people use the period for winter solstice traditions celebrations. Contrary to the false ideas some Africans have about individualism and the collapse of family in Europe, in reality, family links are still very strong in Europe, and many events are leveraged to strengthen these family links, like Christmas, baptism, weddings, and Easter celebrations, which are almost mandatory. Annual gifts and greetings go to other families. When some Africans perceive Europeans as united and very helpful to each other, all that comes from the preservation of family unity and strength, irrespective of their differences, is the foundation of their societies. Events like Christmas, annual gatherings, and the almost mandatory annual gifts and greetings to each other are the cornerstone of the European family's resilience and strength, regardless of the ravage of modern individualism. When it comes to Christmas in Africa, Christmas is mostly taken as an opportunity for excessive drinking, clubbing, sexing, and eating. Lots of people on the streets, but many are still lonely. Most people celebrate lonely or only in their nuclear family, and most young people these days use the period to unfortunately trade sex for gifts and overindulgence. Let the historians clarify this. But Christmas is actually not an African tradition. And like most cultural things Africans imported from abroad, most are misunderstood and misused to the detriment of the African continent. Christianity has successfully destroyed the African family values, whilst in the lands where the Christianity was imported from, it is used to strengthen and unite families, irrespective of how broken they are. There are annual tradition celebrations in most African cultures dedicated to family gatherings, but they are all disappearing these days in the name of modern times. Every day that passes by these days, loneliness is gradually becoming a reality in Africa than in most places in the world. The collapse of the African family is the compromising of a common future. Many Africans call for African unity and solidarity, values that first starts from the family level and transcend to the societal and racial levels. But how do you achieve such levels? You cannot unite a continent without healthy families as its foundation. So what do you think? Are some Africans losing their cultural values by copying and overcopying other continents' cultures? Or it is just time to move away from all cultural values in Africa, especially for the sake of modernity? Well, kindly leave your comments in the comment section below, and thanks for tuning in. I will be back with the next broadcast. Good day.